to my channel. Today we've got a very exciting video. It's a nutrition Q&A health store edition. So at the health store I work at, I asked what people would like to know and I'll answer their questions personally, and yeah, it should be a good one. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cassie Amber and I recently moved from Auckland in New Zealand to the country of Australia in Queensland. So it's been a big life shift, but it's been very exciting building my business up over here. And I still take online clients, and I'm taking one-on-one consultations at the store, doing online programs, recipe development and meal planning and all of that stuff. So yeah, let's get to it. Number one, what are the nutritional differences / benefits of eating something like a sweet potato over a regular potato? I try to keep it simple and track calories in versus calories out, and when it comes to these two items we're told that sweet potato is better, but calories are very similar. So in my personal opinion, I just view sweet potato as a little bit more high in fiber, so it's a little bit harder for our bodies to break down, meaning the carbs won't give us a sugar rush, and the fiber also helps with digestion, so it's not such a huge lump of carbs in your stomach. Some people feel a little bit uncomfortable and bloated like that, but potato is still a natural food and does still have vitamins and minerals, so it is up to your personal preference, but yeah, the sweet potato is just a little bit more dense, if you could put it like that. So number two, greens, veggie replacement, tablets or powders. I struggle to get the 5 and 2 that we're told we should have every day. Are these a good alternative, or what are the downsides to them? If they're okay, are there any that you recommend? Yes, I feel that everyone should be supplementing with the greens powder. The way that I describe it is because of the over-processing of the soil and the high demands of trying to feed the world, our food naturally has lower levels of nutrients in them compared to the olden days, and also just more the modern stresses, or the stresses of our modern life, where we've got so many demands looking after our families. All of us have careers and just financial things, and just there's so much stress that we're dealing with at the moment, and even during COVID we're just experiencing all of these new things that really also takes a toll on your body as well. So I do recommend a greens powder. The one that I personally take is New Zest Good Green Vitality. We also have a great selection in the health store of nice natural ones. So you can either just put it in a shaker with water if you like the taste of that. Otherwise I put mine in a smoothie with plant milk, like almond milk, banana, mango really helps to sweeten it up, vanilla protein powder for a protein boost and nice flavour, and then maca powder to help support with stress, and hemp seeds for added protein, chia seeds for omega-3. Smoothies are a great way to just pack in a bunch more extra nutrients into your day. The supplements should never outweigh your efforts in a healthy diet, so you shouldn't just not try and then think that a supplement is going to fix everything. It really is important to keep trying to get in those nutrients. I feel that soups are also a great way to fit them in, because you can add lots and lots of veggies to them and it's not necessarily so filling, and they're very low in fat and high in nutrients. So just try to focus on each meal every day. What can you add in? If you're having a bowl of cereal, can you add on some banana and berries? Or for a snack, instead of crackers and hummus, can you have carrot sticks and hummus? It's just little changes that you can make throughout the day. But yes, I definitely do recommend a high quality greens powder. Number 3, hi, I struggle for breakfast ideas. Are you able to advise what types of food are best for breakfast and why? So breakfast is a big one that I'm quite passionate about teaching people about. The modern way that we're taught to eat isn't necessarily the best way. I've just gone through and I've taken photos of cereal packets and cereal labels. So I actually don't care about the calories, because I find that if it's sometimes the processed ones are higher in calories, but if it's going to be a more nourishing food, they can be higher in calories if it's got nuts and seeds, but it's actually healthy for you. So I ignore the calories, I ignore the fat, I just look at the sugar and the ingredients. For any health food, the top 3 ingredients shouldn't contain sugar or high fructose corn syrup, and the ingredients are placed in order of what the product contains the most of. So I was watching a documentary the other day which was really, really helpful about breaking down different foods, and 4 grams of sugar equals a teaspoon, which is actually quite a lot. So in the cereal box that I'll put up on the screen, that was quite good, and quite relatively healthy. It's got 5.7 grams of sugar, and the only thing that we don't look at is how many serving sizes. So you actually need to double, triple, or even quadruple depending on how many bowls that's actually going to last you, because the serving sizes can be like half a cup, which is never going to fill anyone up. So to bulk it up, I add more fruit to the cereals, and just opting for ones with as little sugar as possible, as little artificial sweeteners, flavors, additives. You don't need any of that. Just try to keep it quite plain. Also with I keep cereal for a treat and try to opt for other things. Also with toast, I find for myself personally that sits like a ball in my stomach, and it's really, really hard to digest, especially first thing in the morning. So I find food combining really helps. So I use coconut oil as margarine just for a personal taste preference. So if you do coconut oil, peanut butter, the healthy fats really help keep you feeling fuller for longer. Banana and chia or hemp seeds is really nice. Or you can do egg and avocado tomato with some pesto on it. That can really help break down the bread, and always opt for a high quality whole grain or gluten-free bread if you're sensitive to gluten, or even a seed loaf or something like that. Other breakfast ideas, I like to get quite unique and innovative with mine. So sometimes I make banana bread, brown rice porridge. So it's literally rice for breakfast but cooked as a sweet dish and cooked in almond milk with cinnamon and maple syrup. That's really nice. Chia puddings with some protein powder mixed into them, and you can even make just simple pancakes with mashed banana, egg and protein powder, and even lemon juice and poppy seeds to make it a different flavour. It's really, really simple, but try to steer away from packaged and processed foods as often as possible. Number 4, hi, I would like some guidance regarding serving sizes. So for a woman, this can be anything between 1,600 calories a day, which is pretty much as low as you should go, up to 2,500 if you're leading a very active lifestyle and needing to fuel your muscles and repair and recover a lot. The average person probably sits around 1,800 to 2,000. It's kind of hard to picture on a plate, but yeah, it can change depending on the day. I don't really tell my clients how much to eat because it can depend on a whole range of factors. If we're stressed, if we're tired, our hormones and our cycle in women, that can all affect our hunger levels, how much we're working, how much downtime we have, if we're bored or emotional eating, or what level we're our fitness levels are at. Are we needing to fuel our body more or give ourselves a break? Like, everything can cause it to fluctuate. So the number one thing that I recommend is just intuitive eating, slowing down, taking 20 minutes to 40 minutes to eat a meal, and then that gives your stomach time to signal to your brain that you're full. So yeah, I think it's just about tuning in with your body and just figuring out how you really feel. And yeah, sometimes we're going to be starving and some days we're going to not want much food at all, so it can definitely fluctuate throughout the week. For a man, because their bodies are a little bit bigger, and especially if they're having outdoor jobs and working a lot, they can sit from around 2,000, recommended to sit around 2,500 or 2,800, and up to, I guess, 3,000 or 3,500 if they're having a really, really busy day and need a lot of energy. So yeah, it's all about just tuning in with when you're really hungry and when you need to eat or not. So number 5, we've got, hi, wanting to know some high protein foods that are not necessarily meat based. So quickly before I get into it, I wanted to touch on something first, because a lot of people believe that without meat you're basically going to die and you're going to fade away and you're going to lose all your muscle and just be this skinny little stick basically, but it's definitely not the case. So I went plant-based at the time of this video. It's literally 3 years ago, pretty much exactly, and my muscles grew bigger and I lost excess fat from all over my body, and I'm stronger than ever, lighter, bouncier, more energetic. I feel just like everyone is different, but I feel like it has definitely benefited me. And I'm just going through one of the emails I have in my online course, one of my online programs, and it just discusses eating from the earth versus an animal-based diet. So diets rich in plants have been shown to reduce the risk of heart disease, diabetes and cancer. I've seen research live in front of my face of people reversing their own cancer through whole foods, plant-based diets. Plants are low in saturated fat, high in phytochemicals and antioxidants, full of fiber to help aid digestion and move food through your body easily. They're anti-inflammatory foods, which are just great for general overall well-being. Beneficial for weight loss if the plants are lower in calories than animal products, which means you can actually stack up your plate a lot higher and have a lot more food for less calories, so you never have to go hungry. You can eat as much salad and stir fries as you want, basically. And also the largest study ever done in the world, which is the China study, proves that the less animal protein consumed, the greater the health benefits. People who eat the most plant-based foods, such as the blue zones, this is the places around the world where people live to 100 years and older and suffer from the least amount of degenerative diseases. They are found to have the lowest rates of chronic disease and also live the longest. So I can do a whole nother video on that in itself. So high protein, it doesn't mean that you have to go vegan either. I'm not trying to push an agenda. It's just being more open to incorporating more plant-based meals into your week even. That can really help the planet as well. So high protein plant foods, soy products such as tofu, tempeh and edamame, nut butters, beans and legumes, think black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, cannellini beans, lentils and split peas. Quinoa, I have that for breakfast sometimes in another sweet dish cooked in plant milk with nut butter and cinnamon and things like that. Buckwheat, spirulina, seeds such as chia, hemp, pumpkin, sunflower, ground flaxseed and sesame seeds. Tahini is another great one for that as well. Seitan, which is a wheat protein that people often use to make mock meat out of. Nutritional yeast, which is basically like dairy-free cheese flakes that have B12 as well, so it's really awesome to sprinkle as flavour onto your meals. Oats, wild rice, green vegetables such as broccoli, asparagus, green beans and peas. Plant-based protein powders, they're not essential, but it is nice to have a little booster or like just for a healthy snack when you're out and about or for after the gym. Nuts such as almonds, peanuts, pistachios, cashews, walnuts, Brazil nuts, and then some milk alternatives are also fortified with protein and iron and calcium and B12 and those things as well. So number 6 is an interesting one. I haven't actually heard of this before. I react badly to high sulfur foods, but so many of them are healthy and I want to include them in my diet. How can I overcome this, or do I need to live with this forever? So I had to look at some research because I hadn't actually been asked this question before or seen it anywhere. So just for everyone else watching, food and beverages high in sulfur include meat and poultry, fish and seafood, legumes, nuts and seeds, eggs and dairy, dried fruit, certain vegetables, grains, some beverages such as beer, cider, wine, coconut milk, grape and tomato juice, and then some condiments and spices. So it's in most foods, it looks like. And then in the research I was just looking at, it says that sulfur is a chemical element that is naturally present in many amino acids and other important molecules in the body. In fact, after calcium and phosphorus, it is the third most abundant mineral in the human body. Sulfur is also found in many foods such as garlic, onion, and broccoli. While some individuals may be allergic to the action of sulfonamide antimicrobials and sulfites, they do not have a true allergy to sulfur itself. True allergy to sulfur is virtually impossible, as sulfur is present in all living tissues and humans cannot survive without it. So my take on that is, have you gone to be tested that is actually the problem? Because it could be some foods that contain sulfur, but it might not be the sulfur that's causing the problem. So based on these foods with the meat and poultry, it could depend on how the quality of the meat and how they're cooked. Your body might have a hard time breaking it down, or it could be the oils they're cooked in that are disrupting your body and giving you stomach pains. With the beans and legumes, some people do react badly to those. You might not have the right gut bacteria in your body to be able to break them down, or you may need to find alternatives. Eggs and dairy, a lot of people are allergic to lactose and can't have dairy anyway. And with the vegetables, cruciferous vegetables can cause extra gas and things like that. So it might not be the sulfur itself that you're allergic to, but other aspects of these foods. So I'd recommend getting a proper allergy test done, or even going on a food elimination diet and really figuring out which are the foods that are triggering you and causing you pain and an upset stomach. So to finish off the video, because we had 6 really great questions, to make it up to 10, I'm just adding a couple of my own that I found people might need more education on. So one of them was, number 7 will be, what oils are good to cook with, because I've had quite a few people come to me lately with sore stomachs, and I definitely know that oils are a big one for me. If you eat out at a restaurant, they cook with a lot more oil, and it can really make you feel really gluggy and bloated or in pain, and also when you're at home, that can affect your health immensely. So extra virgin olive oil is number 1, but it can't be heated to high temperatures, so I still use that for stir frying and cooking things, but just don't make it really hot, because it will actually ruin the chemical structure of the oil and then turn it into a inflammatory food and like a carcinogenic. However, the olive oil is also great to just add on at the end of the meal, like if you're just making a salad, then it can be a nice dressing. One thing I always recommend though, when looking at dried fruit and oils, you wouldn't necessarily have that many olives crammed into one meal at once if you think about just the oil, and same as like if you're eating dried apricots, you wouldn't have 6 apricots in one go, so it's very condensed amount of sugar. Same for the oil, just use it sparingly. Other ones that you can cook with are coconut oil, that does have a great high smoke point. What else? And what was the other one? Avocado oil is also really nice as well. It's a nice natural one, just make sure it's cold pressed. So number 8 is curing bloating. Painful bloating, gas, and trouble digesting my food is actually what led me down the nutrition route. I kept going to hospital and I felt like my insides were going to pop out of my skin because it was so bloated and so painful. I couldn't digest my food, nothing was regular, and it was really difficult to try and find answers. And then after going down my own journey, I eventually found out which foods were triggering and what food, like how the media has lied to us with all the marketing about what food's actually good for you, and it's just a whole bunch of problems. So things that can contribute to bloating, one of them is actually social anxiety. I find if you're only getting it when you're eating out, it can be the oils, the different spices used in those meals, but also trying to eat if you feel socially anxious and you're trying to talk to people and your body can't focus on digesting the food. That used to be a big one for me until I managed to work through it and feel more comfortable in situations. Definitely food allergies. A lot of people think that they don't have any allergies at all, but gluten and dairy are big ones, and sometimes different types of oils that are used as well. Definitely it will help to take a probiotic or digestive enzymes, or eating more fermented foods like kombucha, sauerkraut, all of those kind of things, because it really helps with your gut bacteria, and then it helps to break down the food. And also another one I found, which I mentioned earlier, is the food combining. So instead of just having carbs in a meal or just fats or something like that, add in lots of green veggies and salad ingredients, and then combine, fats can definitely help to break down the carbs, and adding toppings and like adding seeds into your meals and stuff, it can really help with the digestion and breaking everything down. You can take different supplements, like I take something called Enos, which is made from baking soda, I believe, and you just have a drink to help settle everything down. And we'll have some things in the health store as well to help manage the pain. Another thing I found was also, if it's happening at night time when you've just eaten dinner, stroking or like pushing, massaging downwards on the lower left hand side of your stomach with the ball of your hand and a bit of oil. That's where your intestines are, and that can really just help break down the gas and break down the food and get everything going in a nice motion again. That can be really helpful at night times as well, or also sipping on a tea. Nearly at the end, so the second to last question, what is the best diet? It is a diet that is sustainable long term, something that nourishes your body, something where you're not hungry, something where you're eating a wide variety of natural whole foods, and just working in with your body's individual needs. For me, I've found a 90% plant-based approach works, and I really like to encourage people to eat more plant-based foods throughout their weeks and just be more open to that kind of thing. Doesn't mean you have to go vegan, it doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but really start swapping out like fatty kinds of unhealthy meats to lean cuts and even fish, and then also adding in tofu and eating more veggie patties and beans and legumes as well. So it can be a whole mix of those kind of things. But yeah, definitely prioritizing plants. You don't have to be perfect, and yeah, something that's enjoyable, something that you look forward to, something that you have fun with, and something that you feel great internally and feel really energetic with. And number 10, one tip to increase your energy levels. So the way I look at this is during the day, we often go through highs and lows. So if you're starting your day with a bowl of sugary cereal that you think is healthy because of marketing, because it says that on the packet, but it's actually just empty calories, it digests quickly and you get this big sugar high, you're going to crash in the morning. Then we have a cup of coffee to wake up again, and then we crash after the coffee. Then for lunch we might have, like, if someone has a hot dog or something with some low quality white bread, or something that doesn't take long to digest. So that's going to give you another high, because the carbs will turn into sugar quickly and our body's digested it and we've got all this energy, and then boom, we crash again in the afternoon. Then we're having a sweet treat like some chocolate or a donut to wake ourselves up, and then we're crashing, and it is a vicious cycle to be in. So the best thing you can do for your energy levels is stabilize your blood sugar during the day. So instead of the cereal, opt for just a little glass of overnight oats that's really slow releasing carbs, and it's going to keep you going for hours. So by the time it's time for morning tea or lunch, you're not exhausted and feeling dead. You're just a bit hungry again, and then you have something with lots of whole grains and slow releasing carbs, lots of fiber, a little bit of healthy fat and some protein that's going to just keep you going all the way into the afternoon. And that really is the key to sustaining your energy levels, and opting for natural food as often as possible and saving processed food for a treat. So opt for a 90% approach, so that you're not being completely restricted off those foods that you like to have as a treat. But yeah, that's the way to keep your blood sugar stable during the day. So I hope you liked this little video. It was quite long, but very in-depth, and I hope you took away a lot of knowledge from it. And if you need any help, then, or if you want me to elaborate on anything further, then comment below. Otherwise, hit like and subscribe if you would like to see any future videos, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for watching.